This is the 121st Taiku in the Babylonian Talmud. It appears in Tractate Bava Kamma, page 19a. Hay samavetes o shoytzrois menadzin mitas ragleho v'shovres hakelim b'shalom chatzinezek iboilu hechiko amal. The Mishnah teaches, if the animal was kicking while it was walking, or it occurred that pebbles were inadvertently propelled from under its feet and those pebbles broke vessels, the owner of the animal pays half the cost of the damage. A dilemma was raised before the sages. With regard to what case is the Tana of the Mishnah speaking? Hoy semavetes veziku bevitua bebiuta od tsiroirois keor chayu mishalem chatzi nezek derabonani oy dilma hoy semavetes veziku bebiuta od tsiroirois machas biut mishalem chatzi nezek hakioch mishalem nezek sholem umani somchos hi. The Gemara elaborates, is the Tana saying that if the animal was kicking and caused damage directly with its kick, which is a subcategory of goring, or if the animal was walking and propelled pebbles in its typical manner, the owner of the animal pays half the cost of the damage, and accordingly the Mishnah is in accordance with the opinion of the rabbis, who hold that one pays half the cost of damage caused by pebbles. Or perhaps the Tana is saying, if the animal was kicking and caused damage directly with its kick, or if the animal propelled pebbles due to its kick and the pebbles caused damage, the owner of the animal pays half the cost of the damage. Accordingly, one may infer, but if the animal propelled pebbles as it was walking in its typical manner, the owner pays the full cost of the damage, and if so, in accordance with whose opinion is the Mishnah? It is in accordance with the opinion of Sumchus. Tashima Yiseifa Tarsa al Haklib Ushvaratu ונפל השבר על כלי אחר ושברו על הראשון משלם נזק שלם ועל האחרון חצי נזק ואי סמכוס מאיסלי חצי נזק. The Gemara suggests, come in here, a resolution to this dilemma from the latter clause of the Mishnah. If an animal trod upon a vessel and broke it, and then a shard of that vessel fell upon a second vessel and broke it, the owner pays the full cost of the damage for the vessel, and he pays half the cost of the damage for the latter vessel. And if the Mishnah is in accordance with the opinion of Sumchus, does he hold that one pays half the cost of the damage caused by pebbles? Rishon lihitaza v'sheni shnei lihitaza. And if you would say that the Mishnah is in accordance with the opinion of Sumchus and can be understood as follows: the first vessel concerning which the owner of the animal pays the full cost of the damage, the first vessel damage following the propelling of shards from the vessel upon which the animal trod, meaning the second vessel that was broken, and the second vessel concerning which the owner of the animal pays half the cost of the damage is the second vessel following the propelling of the shards from the vessel upon which the animal is trod, meaning the third vessel that was broken by shards from the second vessel. And the reason for the difference in liability is that there is a difference, according to Sumchus, between damage caused by a force generated by the action of the animal, for which the owner pays the full cost of the damage, and damage caused by a force generated by a force, generated by its action, for which he pays for only half the cost of the damage. Elaha Divay Rashi Koach Sumchas Kochodami or Lav Kochodami Tivshut Le the Lav Kochodami. But if one were to say this explanation, what can be said of that dilemma which Rashi raised, according to the opinion of Sumchas, that one pays the full cost of the damage in the case of propelled pebbles? What is the halacha with regard to damage caused by a force, generated by a force, generated by the animal's action? Is the status of that secondary force like that of damage caused by a force generated by its action? In which case the owner is liable, or is its status not like that of damage caused by a force generated by its action? Why does he have a dilemma? Let him resolve it. Let him resolve from here that its status is not like that of damage caused by a force generated by its action. Ravashi kirabanan mokile ubaile hachi haitam bezvizik bibiuta osores ker or chayu chatzinezek hamachmas biut. The Gemara answers, perhaps Ravashi interprets the Mishnah in accordance with the opinion of the rabbis, that one pays half the cost of the damage in the case of propelled pebbles, and he raises this dilemma. If the animal was kicking and caused damage directly with its kick, which is a subcategory of goring, or if the animal was walking in propelled pebbles in its typical manner, the owner of the animal pays half the cost of the damage. Accordingly, one may infer, but if the pebbles were propelled due to a kick, the owner pays 1/4 of the damage, and there's halakhic significance to deviation from typical behavior with regard to the case of pebbles, resulting in its owner being liable to pay only 1/4 of the damage. O Dilma, or perhaps Taiku. Or perhaps the Tana is saying, if the animal was kicking and caused damage directly with its kick, or if the animal propelled pebbles due to its kick and the pebbles caused damage, the owner of the animal pays half the cost of damage, and there is no halachic significance to deviation from typical behavior with regard to the case of pebbles. The Gemara concludes, Ravashi's dilemma shall stand unresolved until the coming of Messiah and Elijah the prophet answering the question.